digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
You know, things are bad at Tottenham when Spurs fans are sitting there and we're all saying, come on, Arsenal. I never thought I'd see the day. Us Spurs fans are now checking Arsenal's score more than our own. You've got, let me bring, so I've got to bring in Billy. Sorry. I will start that again. I had to bring in the legend that it's Billy. Big up to you, Bill. Right, let me start again. You know, things are bad at Tottenham when Spurs fans are sitting there going, come on, Arsenal. I never thought I'd see the day. Spurs fans now checking their Arsenal score more than their own. You've got Tottenham supporters secretly refreshing the West Ham game like, please, Arteta, just this one, mate. This is football heritage collapsing in real time. It's like breaking news. Next thing you know, Billy would be outside the stadium singing North London Forever. I don't think so. But here we are. Because if West Ham lose, it helps Spurs. And suddenly Arsenal fans are looking at us. Are you not right over there? No, we're not all right. Piss off. Leave us alone. We've suffered enough this season. And that's on Tottenham, that Tottenham fans are willing to support the footballing Avengers. Jesus, that is wrong. If it means helping Spurs survive another week. Listen, it's simple tomorrow. We hate Arsenal, but we hate West Ham slightly more. Just for 90 minutes. Good evening and welcome to THFC Till We Die. Welcome back to this show. Welcome back to the question. It's Roberto De Zerbi, the man to save Tottenham. But also we're going to have a look a little ahead to Arsenal West Ham and where we are standing on it as Spurs fans. But joining me tonight, of course, is a man needs no introduction, a legend within the Tottenham community. He's a bit like Robert the Bruce, ready to save Tottenham from Enoch and from Enoch. He will go in there on the last game of the season. He says, freedom forever. It is my mate. It's your mate. It is the legend, Billy. Billy, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. I'm getting nervous for the next couple of days, see what's ahead. But all good. All good, my friend. All good. Good to be on with a great panel and everyone in the chat as well. Hello.
Yeah, it is very nervous. I was saying that today. I'm extremely nervous, Billy, if I'm being honest, but extremely, extremely. Do you know what? I'm going to move that banner because it's cutting off your head. It doesn't look right. Sorry. I don't know why I moved it up there, but I did. And also joining us tonight as I work out how to do that. Do join us tonight is a man. Actually, the only West Ham I truly like and respect. Yeah, there's one I do. I'm mates with one West Ham fan. Seriously, he runs a great channel over there. A lot of nice people on that channel, and his chat's really nice as well. It is Tony from a West Ham fan. Tony, how are you sitting outside there, the bowling ground, looking back on the good old days? Tony Cotty, Harry Redknapp,
If
DiCaprio.
only, mate. If
Not
only we're still
DiCaprio.
back at this place behind us, that would be something in itself. And I think you've caused Billy a bit of disjustice. You could have pre-warned him, so he could have had his blue paint on his face to go full Robert the Bruce. He could have gone full.
That's for the next stream. That's for the next. You're giving it all away, Tony. It's for the next
The
stream.
war cry.
Yeah.
No, as
He's
always,
dressing up as Billy the Brute, Robert the Bruce, and I'm dressing up as Michael Collins. So there you go. Both freedom fighters from both countries. But yeah, big up to everyone. Let's welcome a few people in as well. A lot of people in tonight. And I want to say a massive shout out to Jess over JYS Football. She sent a lot of her people over tonight. Thank you so much, Jess. Really appreciate it. Your link is pinned at the top of the description. If you're not already a subscriber of Jess, do hit the pin up there. Do get over there because they are a great channel and I love going on there. Big up to Josh, Miel Mucker. Big up to Ryan. Big up to you. So Jess, JSY Raid. Have a great stream, Dermo. We'll watch it back when I'm home later. Well, big up, Ryan. Thank you so much. Big up Paigey as well. Big up Daz as well. Big up to Niall. Big up to the Queen herself, Jess. Big up to you, Jess. You know what you're doing in the chat tonight. Big up to Leeds Angel. Hi. Big up Leeds. Hope you're doing well. Big up to Niall's in there as well. Niall's putting a lot in, actually. Big up to you, Niall. Big up to Terry. Big up to David. Big up to Harry Monk. What a name. Harry Monk. I like that. Big up, Harry. Hope you're doing well. Big up to Brenda as well. Big up to you, Brenda. Big up to Janet. Who else is coming in? Who else is coming in? Big up to Brenny as well. Big up, Brenny. Big up Tony saying hello to everyone. Who else is in? Big up to Mr. Wayne Bonner. Good evening, folks. Hope you're well. Now, plenty of toilet roll ready for the end of the season. Yeah. I don't know what you're planning to do with it, Rain, but I did hear Atletico Madrid. I've run out of toilet roll, so you can send it to them. Big up to Aces. It says I'm dying for Tottenham relegation. I say you are. I have. Big up, big up, Mr. Josh. Big up, Mr. Josh as well. Who else in the chat? Yeah, we've got Wayne said, "Come on, Arsenal." Oh hell, no shit on Arsenal. I'm still giving the Gooner a work brief about bottling 2 trophies. Oh, big up to you, Wayne. Who else is in? Who else we've got in? Big up to Les. Big up to you. Hope you're doing well, Bob. Big up to Chris Brown as well. Big up to Johnny Tottenham. Man City have now put the ball back in Arsenal. Also have all the pressure to win against West Ham tomorrow. That's so true. Who else is in? Big up to Drula. Big up, Drula. Hope you're doing well, honey. Great to see you in the chat as well. Who else? Have I missed anyone? Big up to Chris as well. Big up to you, Chris. Who else? Big up Kevin as well. Hope you're doing well, buddy. And big up to the Iceman. Big up Dermo and Billy and Tony. Also over in the chat. Big up to you. Billy. As I clear the frog from my throat. Tomorrow, who are you supporting tomorrow? Be honest. Where's your fiver going? If you had to put a fiver on this game, where's it going?
You know, I'm going to say something a little bit controversial because I know most Spurs fans want a Arsenal win tomorrow. I kind of want a draw, I have to say. I think that'd be the best result for both perspective things. I think, obviously, in any hypothetical scenario, we have to beat Leeds. So, just going to say I don't want West Ham to gain on us without us beating Leeds. So, I'm going to put that out there first thing. But while it's possible for Arsenal to not win the title, I still want that to happen. I'm sorry, but I just do. But so a draw would be perfect, really. But it's going to be an awful watch because whatever happens, it's going to be horrible for Spurs, like in some way. So even if Arsenal win, it's still our biggest rivals, essentially winning the title. If West Ham win, Arsenal don't win the title, but then West Ham get 3 points on us. So there's not really any way we can come out of it alive, I'm afraid. So I'm just going for in the middle and then going for a draw.
No, that's true. Do you know what? I'm nervous. I'm nervous. I'm really nervous, Tony, about Monday, about tomorrow, about next week, about the whole damn season. I'll be glad when it's over. One of us will be crying, Tony. One of us will be happy. One of us will be getting their earphones and chucking them across the room. The other one will be dancing, going, doing the can and doing the Irish jig. Where are you tomorrow? I know you want a West Ham win, right? But are you really confident of a win tomorrow?
I mean, confident of a win, sceptical. I mean, if you look at it, the key thing is obviously seeing City win today, and it was a dull first half. Let's not be real on that one.
It was pretty
To
bad.
come back like they did, it just shows you the difference. But then it throws the ball back into Arsenal's court. So, of course, Arteta's probably kind of kicking his chair all over. I wouldn't say the cap, but we can't say that because obviously Zuma. But other than that, when you look at it, it's thrown it back into him now. So he's got to get a result. We've got a good chance of doing it. West Ham have managed to basically upset the apple cart for Arsenal now for the last couple of seasons. They've lost points because of us. Plus the fact, if you look at it, when it comes to title challenging, it is our forte. We seem to kind of upset the balance. So when you think about, when you look at the United, was it 92, 95, we managed to derail their winning title challenge. So who knows? I'm with Billy. I think if you look at it seemed to be the most obvious result would more likely be a draw. But who knows? We need to get the upper hand again. We need to get back on track for the last couple of games. We've been off the rails a little bit, which have given you the impetus to be a little bit better. And as I said to you earlier, Dermo, when you think about it, we play first, which puts the pressure on us. We get something out of it, it then throws the pressure back onto you guys. And it's obviously, as you said, it is De Zerbi the man to do it kind of thing. If you look at the title I've put on my thumbnail for tonight, I've put, can Nuno Gate crash the party? And that's something that, possibly this man could do that with us.
Yeah, I mean, Billy, look, we all want deep down. Look, no disrespect to you, Tony, and I've said this before. I'm putting it out. I like Tony. I've got a great friendship with Tony. We did. I mean, what was it? A month ago, we sent a message to one another. May the best team win.
Yeah,
and that's how should
absolutely.
football be, shouldn't it, Billy? I mean, there's 90 minutes of rivalry, but before and after, it's all about banter, isn't it? It's all about having a laugh. I mean, if you do look at the bigger pictures, both clubs are in a lot of peril at the moment with their owners. How important do you think it is for us to stay up? But a West Ham a bit more. I mean, Tony, you probably answered this better, but Billy, are West Ham a little bit more financially in trouble than Tottenham? If the worst came to us and we went down, could we handle it better financially?
I don't know a lot about West Ham finances, but I do know about ours, and we are, we're safe financially for a good few years. But obviously, it comes to a point where eventually it will become a problem, especially if we stay down there for 2-3 years. Obviously, West Ham will have a little bit more experience about doing it than us because they've done it and gone back before. I think what is definitely true in both cases is that I know West Ham are our big rivals, and I hate playing them because they've had the better of us in the last few seasons, and both home and away. But I think both fan bases are being exploited by their owners. I think both are very traditional Premier League fan bases with a lot of history and tradition that go back decades. Tottenham, West Ham, sort of as fan bases, they encapsulate what it was like to support football in London in the historically. They've got a real tradition about them. So what is happening, taking the rivalry off for a second, taking the rivalry hat off, the way that both sets of fans have been treated by their owners is an absolute disgrace. So it's a sad that one of us has to, lose out because of our ownership. So, Tottenham are probably in a better position long term because of the safeguarding that we've put with ENIC and stuff. But at the same time, both sets of owners, would hopefully move on from their football club. I know both are protesting at the moment. Both are very angry with their owners, and it's a shame that both of them are being held to account. And I've been saying this all year with you, Dom, is that fans are the ones that are going to suffer the most from this. The owners will move on. They'll sell the club. They'll get their money still. They'll move on. They'll sell the club. They'll do whatever, and it'll hurt them financially, but it won't hurt them in the soul. But Tottenham and West Ham fans will be the ones that suffer for this.
They will, Billy. You're right. And Tony, look, just very quickly on the financial side of football, and Billy is right. It will be the fans that will get hurt. Both fans are very proud of their club, aren't they? Both fans are very loyal to their history. And if you go back, Tottenham and West Ham have big history in the English game. You look at Tottenham, the first team to win an FA Cup as a non-league side back in 1901. First team this century to do the double. First team, I think, to retain the FA Cup last century as well, twice, 61, 62, 81, 82. And we won everything from 1951 to 1999. Every decade, we won more than one trophy. You look at West Ham, the tradition of Ron Greenwood, the plays he brought through, 66 and all that jazz. How have you been looking at it from a West Ham from your point of view of supporting West Ham and the owners and the way you've been treated? Because as Billy will tell you, and fair play to Billy. Billy, and I will credit Billy, tries to organize these protests. He works extremely hard trying to get behind, like, to working with Change for Tottenham, getting out there. And we just don't get behind it. We don't protest. Where the West Ham fans at the moment with your owners and with the chance of you might get relegated? Has that anger now tipping over to you definitely want them lot out?
It's been tipping over for quite a while. I mean, the main thing is when you look at the protests that we've done, we've actually kind of managed to get some clout behind that. I think the last one was around about 10 or 11,000 people turned up for it. And then what they've done recently, you might have seen it in certain games. It's only the last couple of games. They've been putting up red cards, get the owners out of it, basically.
Yeah.
So when we've wanted this balled out for quite a while, and that's a great shout from the Iceman there for that. We've seen an owner that kind of promised us, and obviously she's now left, Mrs. Brady, where we're going to leave Upton Park and we're going to get world football with world-class players. We'll be interested to know where they are, because they've actually got lost in translation and didn't get the right kind of map details to where West Ham is. We've all suffered because of this. I mean, we left Upton Park, and yes, I can understand why we need to get bigger. When you had your ground redeveloped. The problem with Upton Park, you couldn't do much with it. The cost implications to change the pitch around was outweighed, and then suddenly, of course, up comes a tender for the London Stadium, and all this man saw was pound and pence. So they were looking at, we can get in here now, we can get more people in, so that means more money in the coffers. They thought they had got the ground, and of course, the World and his wife got involved. So you had obviously Levy wanting the Haringey Council to kind of given the approval to build the ground. You had Barry Hearn saying, there's only a mile and a half away from Leighton Orient, so they should be the rightful owners. You got Sadiq Khan saying, well, we want a flex to be at the London Stadium. And from us actually kind of virtually putting pen to paper that we actually purchased the ground, suddenly now we have to rent it. And I think we've gone up to just over £3 million a season in renting the London Stadium. So the sale of Upton Park, the money from that basically, then of course you've seen obviously Declan Rice money we got from there. You've got obviously Kudos money we got from there. And suddenly now we've got owners saying that we've got no money whatsoever. We are skint. We'll have to sell players. And it's a case of, well, the maths clearly don't add up here. No, we weren't on cloud nine, Brian, that's for sure. I wasn't anyway, because at the end of the day, and the work that needed to be done to that stadium is unbelievable. The key thing is, we've both got bad owners, but I'd say the difference being is you own your club, your ground, shall I say? We don't.
Yeah,
we've got an owner that had ambition and has not lived up to it. And the only time we saw real chance of actually kind of progressing is we won the Europa Conference. But I think when that happened, Sullivan absolutely crapped his pants, because he suddenly realised now he's got to spend money if we're going to beat this the next season and keep stability. And that's one thing we never did. So from that point onwards, the towels were there. And Harry, I'll see you soon. Thanks for coming in, Harry. From that point onwards, the decline was happening. So from there, obviously we've got Brady that's now left, because when you look at Brady, she's the one who kind of come out with a stadium, world-class stadium for world-class players. And it's never lived itself up to that. I mean, the main thing is with the money we have got from, it's the poor business in the players that we've spent. We've bought. bought some real dross, and that hasn't helped us whatsoever. So where we should be more on a high and be up in and not have to worry about relegation or anything like that. The biggest problem is we've got an ownership that no one's got an idea where the money's gone. And if we get relegated, it's where we go from there. I mean, it could be a chance to reset the club, possibly. But the financial implications, as you know full well, are hard to take.
They are. And look, I get it, Billy. Look, I think Wayne says it here perfectly. Selling Upton Park was a big mistake, or getting rid of White Hart Lane. They killed the spirit of the clubs. I mean, look, from a protesting point of view, Billy, and for Change for Tottenham and what we're trying to achieve at our club with our owners, and with other fans coming out, you look at the Manchester United protest, you look at the Liverpool protest, you look at all the other clubs protests, you look at Chelsea protesting against their owners. I had a quick look back last night at the video when the Super League first came out and the reaction to government, football authorities, people in football, and it was all, we must all stick together and we can't let it happen again and all this. But the main people that were involved in that are steely, hard businessmen, aren't they? They don't care. Is it about time us fans do take that back, take our clubs back? Because if we don't, or is that gone now? Has the horse bolted out of the stables now, and there's nothing we can do? But what can we do as fans?
It definitely feels like that way, that we might not ever get it back. But because the money from TV and stuff is so unbelievably incomparable to anything about stadium receipts and stuff like that, that it feels powerless. But I think we just got to keep sticking up for ourselves. You only saw this week that Liverpool climbed down on season ticket prices, increasing because of protests. You've seen in the past that look at the way that Arsenal reacted to protests against their owners. They went and spent a lot of money consistently, and now they could be about to win it all. So we just got to keep sticking up for ourselves. And in the case of Tottenham in particular, we need to mobilise much bigger numbers than we normally do. I think in case of Tottenham, the difficult thing is we've had these owners for 25 years. So it feels like they've just sort of worn the fan base down gradually for 25 years, and now everyone. And I think the reason why West Ham could get 10, 11,000, we couldn't dream of those kind of numbers currently, is because a lot of the fan base are just ENIC has been their whole life. Like, they've never known anything different. They don't know that there is a different world out there. Tottenham fan, we've had this for a quarter of a century over them. So encouraged by the fact that the West Ham are doing great work, Liverpool are doing great work, and now it's time for Tottenham to do the same, I think.
I agree. I totally look. I can remember different owners. I remember, I don't know how far you can go back, Billy, but I remember before Sugar. I remember Scholar, and me and Wayne talk about, and I mentioned on Channel 4 where they nearly took Tottenham to the brink of going out of business, not even having a football club. And look, as a football fan, right, putting aside rivalry, putting aside whatever, it really angers me seeing these great clubs being run into the ground and their spirit being killed. You look at West Ham, you look at Liverpool, you look at Manchester United, you look at all these well-established traditional clubs that always put the community first, always put the fans first. And you could say the Glazers at United, ENIC at Tottenham, Brady and Hoko at West Ham. You could probably say Kroenke at Arsenal. Probably the same at Chelsea with Abramovich and then Todd Bowley. It's all about money now, isn't it, Tony? It's all about making money, and the fans have been forgotten. And people are right. It is the toughest league in the world. But before we get into the main crops of it and our managers, which we're going next, how much does it hurt you being a West Ham fan and your subscribers seeing the club that you've supported for many a year in the state you are now? I say you do get angry, do you? Personally, though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't show as much. I'm a bit more calmer than most. But it's the fact of seeing what this club has the potential to become, and being polar opposites. It's down to the ownership at the end of the day. It's all right moving into a big stadium, etc. but you've still got to make sure that it's the fans that kind of got you in the first place. That's how all football clubs started off, basically, having the fans coming in, paying money through the door, and also building on from there. The fact that, with this guy, and unfortunately with most clubs these days, it's all about corporate. Corporate is all about, it seems to be the big thing these days, and thing with the London Stadium, because it's right on the doorstep of Stratford International Station. You've got London City Airport. You've got good links to the ground itself. The tourists can just walk off the street, buy a ticket, and sit next to the home fans, and it's like, shouldn't be that. At the end of the day, segregation is there for a reason. I mean, I think when we played Arsenal last time, they were sitting in the home end with fans, and it's like, do they not realise this is our them days have gone? We shouldn't be in that position, but it's all about bums on seats, and it seems to be, doesn't matter whose bum it is going to be going on that seat. They'll just take the pound and pence, and this is the problem. We managed to, they wanted to bring in concessions. The concession seat, and they want to scrap it all together. So, anyone under 18, the RAPs and that, would pay the full price as everyone else. But because we kind of kicked up so much a stink over it, and we put a petition out, we actually overhauled that. And it's great to see that. That's what it should be about. It's not just their club. And this goes for any football club. It's our club. They're just the stewards that's looking after it. And, they come and go.
Yeah, they do. I mean, Billy, very. Yeah, I agree, Tony. I totally agree in that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up. Sorry.
No.
I totally agree. And just the last bit, and this, Billy, I'll leave it to you before we get on to De Zerbi and Nuno and tomorrow's and the games that we've got coming up and the games coming up for West Ham as well. Billy, it is our club, isn't it, man? It is our club. It's our bread and it's our blood, isn't it? And do you feel look, as an older fan, I'll be 45 years supporting Tottenham next season. I feel less in love with my football club than I have done. Forget about the last 18 months we've had. I just feel so disconnected from Tottenham, being a Tottenham fan. Are you the same? And how angry are you as a fan to see the club how it is at the moment? I'd say you'd be very angry, I would say.
Yeah, it's really disheartening what's been happening over the last few years, and you can kind of draw a lot of comparisons to West Ham. Is that we also moved stadium. We were promised that the new stadium. Let's not forget when we gave up White Hart Lane, we won 17 out of 19 home games there, won unbeaten all season, and finished second in the league. We then gave that up for the promise that it's going to be worth it because the new stadium will be even better. And then, 6-7 years on down the line, we're almost relegated in that stadium. We've not won anything in that new stadium. We won the Europa League, but in terms of the league positions, we've declined year on year on year to a point where we finished 17th last season. Now might even be relegated in there. So, what we were promised is a complete lie. And it felt like White Hart Lane was where the soul of the club left, and it's never really recovered since, to be honest with you. And I think, year on year, we pay absolutely ridiculously high ticket prices. The soul of Tottenham, everywhere you look, it's becoming more of an event stadium, more of an NFL stadium, more of a big day out for every club that comes there. The home record is absolutely appalling for the football club. There's no statues. If you were to the untrained eye, you'd be going there, you wouldn't even realise it was Tottenham because it's more of a soulless event stadium, right? So our identity's been stripped year on year, and at the same time, our football team's been stripped as well. To a point where we're talking about a point where we've got 3 games left in the season, and we might well be relegated. So, yeah, it's a disgrace what's happened to our football club. And I feel like, as I said just now, it feels a lot more powerless at Tottenham because these guys have been here for so long. They've been here for 26 years now, a quarter of a century, and it just feels like what on earth, how on earth we're going to get rid of them because. They bought this football club for 100 million or whatever it was. It's now worth like 3-4 billion. Yeah. When is there going to be the point where they get that offer and go? Because until then, it feels like we're powerless. But I just can't. It almost feels like it's been so long with Nick, and that you can't imagine them actually going. So it feels powerless as a Tottenham fan.
Does it feel a bit like Mac Ashley at Newcastle? To both clubs, both sets of fans. It's that sort of ring to it, isn't it? It's a little bit of that. sort of will he ever go? Will
Yeah.
Enoch ever go with the West
Sullivan.
Ham? Doesn't it? It has that sort of ring to it. What do you want? Right, both questions. Yes or no, or honest answer as you can. I've always been a big fan of probably Middle Eastern owners than US owners. That's just me personally. Billy, if you had a pick of new owners to take over from Enoch, knowing the FFP strategy is now, the rules that are in place now, who would you go for?
I just want someone that puts the football team first, really, because I think, it's really interesting. There's a couple of case studies that you could look at now. I mean, you've seen Saudi owners in Newcastle, and it's actually not working particularly well there because they're constrained in a way that actually Tottenham wouldn't be. But then if you look at American owners and Todd Bowley, it's almost the other way around. They've spent an absolute fortune. They've spent £2 billion at Chelsea, but look at them now. They've lost 6 Premier League games in a row. They might, their fans are protesting. So I almost think it doesn't really matter, who you go for. If you go for Middle East, you go for America. You just got to get someone in who's going to put a good, sensible football people in there. Because unless you do that, then you're in big trouble. It's like with Tottenham. Tottenham is as we've said before, Tottenham's not about that we don't spend enough money anymore. We do spend enough money. It's just what we spend on is shocking. So I almost feel like whoever the owners are, as long as they put sensible football people in charge as well,
Excuse me.
that's almost what we need the most at this point.
It is. Same question you before we move on. Tony, if you could have any pick of owners, who would it be? You had to pick one country for owners, who would it be?
I'd probably go for the Americans in more than anything else. I mean, if you look at the,
Why?
I suppose they're better invested. No, I'm joking. I mean, if you look at it, it seems to be they have a bit more understanding about football compared to the Saudis in that respect. I mean, when you look at, like, for instance, the Newcastle one, obviously the PSR is all changing to this new style of things. There is kind of caveats in that they can get away with and possibly spend. And the main thing is, when you look at it, everyone thought once they pulled out of the Gulf, I think I said this last week, once they pulled out of the Gulf, they thought that that's it, they're leaving Newcastle as well. But they've quite adamantly said, no, we're staying here at Newcastle. There's no change in that respects. So with them, I mean, when you think of the money that they've got, they're being very... I understand what Billy's saying, but at the same point for me as well, I think they've also kind of been very coy in how they've been doing the business. Everyone expected they was going to spend money left, right, and centre because of what they are, and they realised that no, we just can't do that. Yes, we can because we've got the money, but we can't because of the constraints. But we're going to do it the right way, and that's what you want. I mean, not being funny. I mean, if you look at your class as one of the supposed to be a Big Six club. We aim to be a bigger club and never kind of have filled in boots whatsoever. But you look at some of the other clubs, you just got to look at, Brighton, for instance, with Tony Bloom. You've just got to look at Bournemouth and even the likes of Brentford, smaller clubs than that, but they've got the right ownership. They know how to run the club. They know how to make sure that the fans are involved in their club. And that's saying that if you look at both of our clubs and that, we are miles away from that, absolutely miles away. And it puts, we've got a 62,000, well, nearly a 63,000 seater stadium. You're I think in the same position seat wise, and you've got Bournemouth that's got 17,000. What's the difference? It just shows you if you have the right person, as Billy said, if you get the right person in charge, who kind of puts the clubs and the fans first, everything else goes hand in hand.
Yeah, it does.
If you're disjointed, it doesn't. Simple.
Yeah. It does. I mean, look, just my opinion on this. Look, I don't want American owners, but Billy will know this. With the NFL link, it would be an ideal for an American owner, wouldn't it, for a franchise, Billy, to come in and say, look, I'm going to stick my NFL team here. To be fair, it would. Look, we will do a stream with it. I think there's a stream where we could get a few football fans together and talk. And also, I do feel channels like ours, your channel, Billy, I know Jess's channel, we should all come together in the summer and do a massive stream on how to save our football clubs, because these clubs are important to us. They're not just August to May clubs, they're all year round clubs. Tottenham, for some people, are everything. The matches are everything. We do this channel, we do Tottenham content. Tony does West Ham content. We do it because we love the clubs. We love our football club. And I just feel football's changing into a sport where us, the fans, are not wanted anymore. It's all corporate. It's all the prawn sandwich brigade, as Roy Keane said back in the day. And the start of that has been the start of the Premier League. And I do feel, I don't know if you'd be up for that, Tony, and I know Jess probably be up for it. It'd be a good idea, wouldn't it, Billy? Get a few fans together and just talk what football means to everyone. What do these clubs mean to us? And I think we've got a fight, haven't we, Billy? The last thing on that, and then we'll move on. We've got a fight, haven't we? We've got to fight for our clubs, Billy, all fans. Just from you, point of view, for change for Tottenham. Just for you and change for Tottenham on it. And watching what other fans do. Does it need a link up, Billy, between all clubs at the end of the season for everyone to come together and fight for the game we love in this country?
I think so, because it's funny, because if you listen to the different shows and you listen to the different perspectives and you listen to the different reasons why people are protesting, there's actually a lot more similarity than what divides us all, as fans. People are talking about ticket prices, talking about, the way the owners don't respect the fans anymore, talking about how the identity is going from the game. All of these, atmosphere and stuff like that, all of the things which we are fighting for as change for Tottenham and the Tottenham fan base probably apply to West Ham. They probably apply to Liverpool. They probably apply to Leeds. They apply up and down the country. And the fact is that, the match-going fans and stuff like that are being, less and less important to the game just because of how gigantic the TV revenue is. But then we know at COVID what happened then when there were no match-going fans, how much the product was damaged. And they had to put things like fake crowd noise in there and stuff like that. So we're a lot more important than they like to make us feel that we are. And I think if we all come together, it could be really good for that.
I think so. I think we should do something in the summer. Probably 3 or 4 channels come together and just really show what it means to be. I think something has to happen in the summer, guys, that we're all going to have to go out. I know there's a World Cup because England are in it. Ireland are not in it. We're still trying to find just a gate crash it if I can. So any protest to Donald Trump will be appreciated. Please set up a GoFundMe, send Ireland to the World Cup if you could. We'll get one team. We'll get one team kicked out. Wonder what that team can be. Oh, I know who it could be, but I won't mention it. Right. I want to start. I want to big up. I've got a couple of things here. So big up. Sorry, I haven't got Iceman member for 2 months. Thank you so much for all your support and your loyalty to the channel, Iceman. Billy, do I think the Iceman member for 2 months? Big up.
Yeah, absolutely legendary. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the support for everyone. It's a real honor to be have the support of everyone, particularly in these difficult times for us all.
It is, Billy. It's mad. And big up to the crew over JYS who've sent a load of people over as well. Jess and Stacey and Josh and the gang over there. Thank you. So her link's pinned up the top just as a thank you for sending everyone over. Big up to Wayne. He says Leeds were a very difficult game. We will earn points. Tomorrow night we've got the pre-match build-up, so plenty of leads on that. Too much money in football since night 2. It's because nothing more than corporate business. What else we've got? Brian, whoever goes down, I think it will come straight back up. They both belong in the Premiership. I totally agree, Brian. I totally agree. Sorry, Damo, I'm going to swear. Okay. Who gives 2 facts? See, I swear for you. About West Ham or Arsenal or any other team in the league. If they win or lose, we win every game we start. It's true though, isn't it, Billy? If we win our games, we're fine. So we really shouldn't be worrying about what happens tomorrow, should we, to be fair?
Yeah, that's why I'm not too fussed if it's a draw or even if West Ham win, because I want both things to happen. I want Tottenham to stay up and Arsenal to bottle the league personally.
Yeah.
That's my dream.
Do us a favour, Tony. We're looking on you. Not to win, but just damn it, just derail them a little bit so you don't overtake us. We don't want you to win. We want you to derail Arsenal's title hopes, but we don't want you overtaking us. So can you find a way of the middle ground? Is there a way? Can you do that? Is there? No?
Brown envelopes, Dermot. Then we can talk. No, I mean when you look.
Hang on, let me look. Hang on, let me look. Okay, there's a tenner on its way to you, Billy. Tony's tenner on its way to you.
I think again, like everything else, the biggest problem we've got is the ownership. Not the ownership. He's the manager. He's making sure that he gets things set up right. Because when you look at something like this is the reason why we're down there. And the manager's got to look at himself. If we manage to stay up, for instance, the chances are he stays. Apparently, even if we go down, they still want to keep hold of him. His contract virtually comes to an end anyway. So it'd be interesting to see what's going to happen on that result. But the thing is, if we do stay up, wish that he looks through the season to see where he's gone wrong and where he could have bettered himself. Because there's certain games, we know Nuno has a certain style. For the short period of time he was there, Nuno has a certain style. And it's that he's got to really consider for tomorrow. As long as he kind of sets up in the right way, which kind of denies Arsenal pushing forward, then we've got a chance of actually kind of getting them on the counter. And with the attacking options that we can have, we can put the defence under pressure. And if you look at it, apart from where they think they've got a couple of great results lately, when you push Saliba and Gabriel and that, there's mistakes. And more than likely, all they're going to do is just foul you. So that's what we've got to look at, that side of things. Raya, had a great season for Arsenal. There's no two ways about it. But again, between him and the defence, there's mistakes to be made. But it comes down to the right delivery at the right time. I mean, if you look at your game against Villa, Tell with that delivery for Richarlison, they're the kind of balls you want to see played into the area and hitting the sweet spot so you get the goals. Just the same as with us. If Juve starts, he can get them balls into the box, and we've got hope for, if it's going to be a Souček or if it's going to be a Mavropanos. But it comes down to the same old thing. If we're not set up right and Arsenal kind of take advantage, especially if they score first, it's how we get back on that. And know that at that point, you're going to hear this roar from North London, because obviously at the end of the day, if Arsenal win, there's that. But also you're going to hear commiserations at the same time. We can do something. But, it comes down to Nuno. That's the thing for me. If Nuno doesn't get it right, then, if you get your result on Monday, then it's that 4 points. And that's where I think we will struggle at that point.
I think so. I mean, Billy De Zerbi, he came in, didn't he? And we also, you may have said it before, that he should have come in a lot sooner. We know that. Look, mistakes were made. But what has De Zerbi already changed the mentality at Tottenham now with these group of players? You saw their performance against Sunderland, which was okay. It wasn't too bad. The performance against Brighton, you were at the game, was far better. The Wolves' performance wasn't great, but it was one of those games where you dig out a win. Do you know what I mean? It was a dirty, filthy 1-0 win. And now we've got the 2-0 win against Villa, which I thought Tottenham played fantastic. Best game of the year. What's De Zerbi done in the short time he's been at Tottenham? And does that give you sort of encouragement for pre-season for next year? How much are you behind De Zerbi now?
I think the job that he's done is quite remarkable, actually. When you compare the way that, you also have to factor in that since he's been here, he's lost about 8 first-team players of injury, like any manager seems to do when they come to Tottenham. He lost Romero, Kudus, Vicario, and many more as well. And then factor in the way that we're playing now compared to what we were before is incredible. But also just, the fact that we actually he's turned a team that couldn't win in 16 games into one that's, managed 2 in 3 games and was actually only 30 seconds away from getting 3 in 3 in Brighton. And Brighton, Kevin Danton mistake cost us what should really have been 3 wins in 3. So we've gone from having the worst form in the league to being, 7 points in 3 games, which is unbelievable. And all he's really done, and he's done it incredibly well, is just get some confidence back into these players again, which we know that they massively needed. And I think the press comments for Aston Villa was particularly important. The way that he said, everyone's crying at this football club all the time about injuries, this, and this, and he's right. We do it on stream. Everyone does it. Tottenham fans. We've been saying we've got this many injuries. The referees are doing this to us. De Zerbi to come in and say, actually, stop all that crying. We're going to, we've got a team good enough to win this match, whatever happens. It's an absolute breath of fresh air, I think. And, it is a shame that, even though he's done all this, we could still go down because of how bad it was in the first place. If we'd have hired him in, say, January, we would not be worrying about this. It would be a completely different situation. So he's done an incredible job, no doubt about it. And I'm confident that, we have massively, massively improved. It's just, as we've been saying the whole time, it's just a real shame it didn't happen earlier.
Yeah, it is. And if you do look across London at us and you look at what Nuno's done, yes, we've had the experience of Nuno at Tottenham, Tony, and know what he's done. What's your impressions been of De Zerbi? Are you sort of looking at him thinking, I wish we had him at West Ham? Are you sitting there thinking, do you know what? Nuno's not that bad. What's the genuine thought on De Zerbi and Nuno?
I like De Zerbi when he was at Brighton. He proved he came in and took over from Potter, and there was a lift. But then they brought in the Hassan-Hola, and he's overtaken what De Zerbi's done. So it seems that goes to that Brighton model. De Zerbi's coming. It's an interesting one because you've got to think he didn't want to come in until he was safe, and then come in the summertime, rebuild, etc. But as we know, you got 12 million reasons why you decide to come to a football club.
That's true.
And when you look at something like that, it's the right time, albeit the wrong time. Because if you get someone like that in, yes, it could be the manager bounce, the 5-minute wonder. Is it enough to get it over the line with 3 games to go? Who knows? He's got a style. And that rallying cry he did, as I joked with you the other, last weekend, he borrowed the script from Arteta because Arteta did exactly the same thing. So it must have been a North London thing at the time.
We like sharing things in North London. We do.
There was that going on there. It's where, if he gets it done, it's where how he carries on for the new season, regardless if it's in the Championship, it's or in the Premier League. Because if you look at his track record, he's not been bad, but you got to think at Marseille it didn't end too well, did it? When you think of the last 10 games, he only had 1 win. So there's food for thought on that one as well. It's just like with Nuno. I mean, he came in. He was the right choice at the right time. He was really, in certain respects, the only one that was available. He was on a free. So for the owner, it was great. Didn't have to, don't have to pay anything out on that one because he's already been paid off by Marinakis. And unfortunately, like I said, with Nuno, where he's basically cost us 22 points, like Billy, we wouldn't be in this position now. We wouldn't be talking like this because we'd be safe in that respect. And it's them things you've got to question. So with Nuno coming in, the way I see it like this, if we stay up, then he's got to bring in these right players. Look, I mean, January, he got the chance to bring in a couple of players. He brought in his number 2, and we saw a massive change. And at that point, you was 13 points clear of us. So that in itself was a great turnaround. It's what we do now and then in the next. So De Zerbi, good manager, but is it the right choice for a club like yourself at this moment?
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I mean, Billy, you look at De Zerbi, you look at Nuno, right? And you look at, it took, if I'm right the same, Tony, it took you longer, probably Nuno, to get going, I would say, than it has De Zerbi. He's got an instant reaction where I think Nuno did take a few games. Billy, would you trust De Zerbi with a full pre-season and transfer window? And saying that as well, is Tequila right when he says, he does say it here, where was it? Yeah. It's only been a few games. Hold your horses on this De Zerbi. Love it. Wait and see how stuff pans out. Hero worship, never is good, Doma. Is he right? Or do you think we have to get behind this manager? Or is Tequila right just to say, hold your horses, come on, we've been here before under different managers and it hasn't panned out?
He is right. There's no doubt about it. But
Yeah.
my doubt is not in De Zerbi, it's in Enoch. And can Enoch keep him happy? You know, I think De Zerbi's already done enough to say this is the guy that we need to back in summer. Enoch have failed every manager, you know, stretching back 20 plus years. So Nuno being one of them, funnily enough. So I don't, you know, my concern is not with De Zerbi, it's with Enoch. So
yeah, that's true.
Particularly when you consider how, you know, this guy is not one of those people that's motivated by money. He's got a £60 million contract, but his previous 2 jobs he's walked from. You know, managers usually wait till they get sacked so they get the payoff, but this guy will just walk. So yeah, my concern is definitely not with De Zerbi. It's more with what can he keep him happy, because a lot of the evidence would suggest probably not so far.
Yeah, no, I agree. Tony, I think this is on your channel, bud. You've got a new member, so I don't know.
That's Dow going big up Dow.
Yeah, big up there. And do pick up memberships on our channel as well. Memberships are on here, also on Tony's channel as well. And big up to everyone over and watching on Tony's channel as well. You're very welcome to THFC to die. I know you feel welcome here, all you West Ham fans. I know you don't feel dirty. You don't want to go for a shower after this. I've been on the Spods channel. I need to go for a shower. But we welcome all fans here, as Tony well knows. Next season is going to be interesting. One of us is going down. It ain't going to be us, just to let you know. Sorry, just putting that out there. Sorry, Tony. You're going to say, it ain't going to be me either. Down with them Tottenham fans. Down with our West Ham fans. If Nuno does go, who do you want in to take over?
Ooh, that's a good choice. Who would you want?
And that's what you think about that, Tony. Give you a few minutes. Billy, I've got a question for you, and your question, give you time to think about it as well. Is in the summer, how many players do you want out or in? So I've got let you think on that. I'll get Tony to answer your question first, bud. And West Ham fans, get your answers in as well. See if you match Tony. And Tottenham fans, with Billy's question, get your answer in as well.
I wouldn't mind actually Craig Bellamy.
Really?
Yeah. You know, he enjoyed himself when he was at Upton Park. You know, he's built a good acumen as a manager and that, and obviously with Wales, because they haven't qualified, who knows? That could be the temptation to bring him back into into a actual kind of domestic club to kind of push his CV up. So I wouldn't mind him. It would be a good choice, I think. You know, because at the end of the day, and that, would you want to mess with him? I mean, if you look at it, I've just seen GP put in there the manager. I think should have come to us rather than gone to you first of all, and that was Thomas Frank. I think it would have been the right fit for West Ham. You know, he engages with the fans.
That's interesting.
You know, I've liked Thomas Frank the way he's done things at Brentford. I think going to use, I don't think was probably the right choice at the time. Because to me, I've always said it to even to some Spurs friends of mine. If I was a manager and Spurs come knocking on the door and that, I would want it in black and white on a concrete slab in writing that I'm going to be back to the hilt with money. Because how many managers have you had come in and that, and also they've been told exactly the same thing, and have they? Not really. I would want to be guaranteed I'm going to get that first of all before I put pen to paper.
Yeah. So Craig Bellamy for you. Let me know, West Ham fans in the chat. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Who would you pick? We've got one here saying, Organ saying, Big Ange loves East London, I've heard.
There is talk, some West Ham fans have said that as well.
Would you take Ange?
Again, I think if you look at it, with Ange, there is a certain style of football he plays, and you know he's sort of Celtic. We use guys. He did exactly what he said on the tin: 2 years, and I'll get you something, which he did. So he's kept his promise in that respects. But would I want him? I think, unfortunately, again, you know, that there's too much baggage that comes with him because obviously what happened with you guys. Plus the fact, I suppose, as a West Ham side of things, and that would we want an ex-Spud managing with us kind of thing, so there's that as well. I know we've got Nuno, but he was only there 5 minutes for you guys, so that kind of gives me a little bit of a
Doesn't
buy.
count. Doesn't count. Before we get you, Wayne, Billy, big up to Wayne Bonner, gift of 1 membership, and it's gone to Mark Mad Walk 71. So big up to you, Wayne, and big up to you. Right, your question, Billy. Have you come up with a shopping list yet? Who you want in?
It's a bit like that Russell Brand video where he's going through the pages. How long have you got left? I want a massive overhaul, mate. Either way, if we stay up or go down, I think the list has got to be gigantic. Players both in and out. Exactly what Tony was saying. We need to use this as an opportunity to reset whatever happens now. So, I would say at least 7 players gone and at least 7 players in, I think, is what we need. So, massive. We're talking massive overhaul here.
Yeah, I agree. We did one last night, and some of the players were linked with Sensation and Robinson, who we know we've already been linked with. Billy, and we're doing another transfer show next week. And you're right, Billy. It is a massive opportunity now under De Zerbi. Just to counter that, ENIC with a war chest, how much money do you think ENIC will put up? And also, do you think it's going to be mostly from player sales, likes of Romero going? And look, if West Ham goes down, I'm telling you now, I want Somerville and Gerard Bowen. I want them two straight away from you.
And Fernandez. And Fernandez I'll take as well.
And Fernandez as well. There's 3. Kudos, get ringing them, get speaking to them now. Would there be 3 players you would like from West Ham if they did go down?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I would. I think those 3 are brilliant players. I think Fernandez in particular. I think it's going to be a massive signing for if someone does buy him. I think he's been unbelievable for West Ham. Funny that Spurs were linked with Somerville in January, and I think a lot of our fans at the time turned their nose up at that. But I think he would massively improve us. And Bowen, I just couldn't see it happening. Not being the captain of West Ham, and he wouldn't do that. There's no chance, I don't think, as much as I'd love him. But those are, I think there's quite a few actually. No, sorry to say, Tony, but I would love Diouf as well. I think he's a brilliant player, but I think it'd be really difficult for Tottenham to sign these players from West Ham. That's the last thing they would want to do at the moment is sell to Tottenham. So, as much as I would take any of those 4 in a heartbeat. I actually think, I think Fernandez in particular has got an absolutely massive future in the Premier League.
100%, definitely there.
I love this.
We're just laughing at this comment from GP, which always love.
I'm just the sort of bloke that your bird, but puts the bed sheets back on.
I think the biggest problem is
that's me earpiece on. Billy, carry on.
Even if we stay up,
oh Lord,
the guarantees of keeping some of our players is going to be very hard because at the end of the day, it seems we have to sell anyway. So, the likes of Fernandez, probably Somerville.
How much did you buy Fernandez for?
Fernandez, what's that? I think it was it 18? I'm trying to think myself there, Billy. Got me thinking now. Was it?
Not a lot.
Not a lot. No, I think Somerville was. What was he? 25. We bought him for. There's Fernandez.
Fernandez could be a sort of 50, 60 million pound player minimum, couldn't he? At least, I would say.
I agree. I mean, what's your thought on Bowen? There was a lot of talk that what was I going to say? You have a lot. Yeah, I would say Bowen is looking to move, but I think there are reports going around that his missus doesn't want him to move out of North London, out of East London. I mean, what do you think to that, Tony? That
I'll answer that.
I don't know.
Let me just answer the one for Billy. It's 38 plus 4 million we paid for Fernandez, so that's what we paid for him.
You get double that, I think.
100%. With the Bowen situation, Dermot, I think if you look at it, yes, I've seen this rumor. If we go down, there's a chance that he said he'll move on. At the end of the day, he's coming up to 30, So when you look at it, is that the right move for him, or do you stay at a club and literally become, a legend in itself? Because if you stay there and still apply your trade, then you're still going to make a name for yourself. And maybe that's something he needs to do. Don't get me wrong, I can understand why, and if he decided he wants to move on, there's the England career. He's his last hurrah of maybe putting an England shirt on. But all in told, Danny Dyer, she doesn't exactly want to leave the area. She wants to stay around there for it. If he stays, I'm sure he would want reassurances that the club's going to do something so he can be part of that. Otherwise, do we lose him? We all jokingly say though, there's Danny Dyer Senior. He's got to kind of run it past him first of all before any release. Regardless of that, Bowen's got an agent. It's got to go through him first of all, and that otherwise there's no chance. But I mean, it's one of those. It all comes down to if we stay up or not, and I think that's the biggest problem we've got, because we are going to. I think regardless of going down or staying up, we are going to lose some players, especially if this club's saying that we've got no money to spend.
I mean, that's the bigger thing, isn't it? About Namo. Bowen's under the dice. Tommy certainly is. I wouldn't like to see him and go, you're right, Danny. Yeah, I'm looking to leave. Can I leave? Whack, whack, whack. Okay, I'm staying. Here you go. We've got he wants one more big pay, Tony, more than West Ham will pay. Money is everything to these players, and we know this. It is in a way, but look, I don't know why that's happening. Tomorrow and Monday. Billy, look, we're going to do our pre-match build-up tomorrow, so we'll get more into that. But what I want from you is a score prediction for the West Ham Arsenal game. And will Arsenal bottle first, the league or the Champions League? So, score prediction for tomorrow.
I think it's going to be. I think West Ham will get a point tomorrow. I think it'll be a tough game for Arsenal, which will then leaves the door open to City to come through. After that 3-0 win today, so I'm going to go 2-2, and then Arsenal will bottle the league. And I hope that we win our game, so we don't even have to worry about it.
That's it. I don't believe I'm going to say this. I do not believe Billy's going to take me outside and batter the hell out of me, knock some sense into me after this. I don't believe I'm saying this. Somebody asked me earlier, what do you want tomorrow? And I said a draw.
Yeah,
I'll take a draw on Monday. We should change that now. I think we're going to batter Leeds. Sorry, Jess and Stacey. 90 minutes, it's all fun, all out there. Before and after, respect. 90 minutes, you know yourself. It's all about 3 points. I want Arsenal to win tomorrow 2-0. It makes Leeds safe, so it makes our job a little bit easier on Monday. I can see Tony getting ready with his tomatoes or whatever else going to chuck at me in a minute. And I think Arsenal will bottle the Champions League. I think PSG would do them over. Tony, are you going to break our Spurs hearts tomorrow?
Yeah, right.
Look at him getting ready. Hang on, just let me drink. Let me take this in. Let me just savor this.
Big intake of breath.
Yeah.
I like to think that we'll do exactly the same thing, and we can upset the apple cart. With when it comes to sometimes playing the bigger clubs, we seem to kind of step up a little bit. So when you look at the Arsenal game, as I said earlier, the thing is, we could just see it now. It goes maybe 1-1, and in the dying minutes, corner comes in, and there leaps up their ex-Arsenal player Mavropanos, who pounds it into the top right-hand corner, and we win it 2-1. So there's that. A draw.
You go 2 points clear, then, don't you?
We do indeed. Yeah. And then, of course, it throws back onto you guys. As for the Champions League, I think if you look at it, PSG will give them a game and show them. It won't be the same as the Bayern game because unfortunately, Arsenal can't match that type of football. But I think they could do the Drury. That's the thing. It's very much in their hands. Arteta wouldn't want that. he will be up and down that touch line and wearing the grass out like he normally does. I think a draw is more like the outcome, and it seems to be. If you ask a lot of people, that's what most people were saying. You got the odd one or two that are saying that they're going to get a result, and it could be the defining one. I mean, I know Aces, who was in the chat earlier, saying that this is where they actually win the title tomorrow. But of course, with City getting their result today, they've still got a bit of a way to go on. As for your game, Leeds, there's you've got to consider what that team and Daniel Farke's done. Considering they were going to sack him at the end of last season, strangely enough, and they've stuck with him and it's paid off. So when you look at it like that, he's muted. I think Demo's muted.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are glad I'm muted, but anyway, I'm unmuted now. I think
that
was an
on there,
absolute.
Dermo.
Yeah, that was a ridiculous where he got them from. And you're just very quick. We'll talk about that, Tony. It's a good point to end off on, actually. Billy, if you look at what Leeds have done and Farke, and Tony is right when he's saying they were looking to sack him. How ridiculous of a decision was that? I've got a different question about the Leeds Tottenham game for you, Billy, Tony. So I'm coming back to you with Gorka. I mean, Billy, how stupid was that from their back? Look, he has done a good job with them, hasn't he?
Unbelievable job. I don't know if you guys have seen this as well about Guardiola's finished the press conference by going, "Come on, you Irons," at the end of it. There's a video of him.
There's always a hammer in everyone.
There's a video of him Guardiola doing that at the end of his press conference. So he'll definitely be watching tomorrow. But yeah, what an unbelievable job that he's done. I remember the news was pretty much coming out that he was sacked, wasn't it? And I think he's gone on a massive unbeaten. And actually, this is Tottenham's biggest problem this season is that when we've got into this relegation fight, Forest, West Ham, and Leeds have all put in an absolutely insane fight towards the end of the season. Yeah. I think West Ham are fourth in the form league. I think Forest and Leeds are first and second. So it's been a real battle. No one's given up. Tottenham were actually almost on our arse dying when we couldn't buy a win. But West Ham, since pretty much that when they beat us in January, West Ham have put a few results together, and Leeds and Forest have done the same. So it's been an absolutely crazy end to the season. I think the top four in the form league has got 3 of the relegation teams in it.
Yeah,
Sky's loving it though, Billy. That's the thing. Sky's absolutely loving this because you've got 2 teams at the top for the title and 2 teams at the bottom. Now kind of confirmed as being the 2 teams for the relegation. So Sky thinking himself, "Cool, this couldn't be even better for us."
Yeah,
I think
it's been this big. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The key thing with Farke, he said he's made it quite clear, even though most pundits are saying that they are safe. Until he knows he's mathematically safe, he's not ending. So you guys are going to have a tough game. And I think if you look at it, if I see them kind of unfortunately beating you 2-1, I think they were just a bit too strong for you in that respect. Which then obviously kind of throws the mic back into the ring again. But until that game, if you get the win, then I think if you look at it, then I think he'll say he's safe. And that's kind of decent because we play him at the end of the season, so he might be on the beach by that stage.
Are you hoping, or is that what you want? Are you hoping for
that? It's the hope that kills you, unfortunately, Dermot. So I'm not going to go down that road.
No, I tell you what, we've all been football fans long enough. Are you nervous, Billy? Are you nervous for the last 3 games of the season? I'm rarely nervous. I'm sitting here.
It's been awful,
feeling
mate.
sick with nerves.
Yeah, I've been feeling this way, for months now. It's just always on your mind, isn't it? And you wake up, you're thinking, God, what's going to happen in that Leeds game? What's going to happen with West Ham tomorrow? I was watching that West Ham Brentford game, watching watching all the West Ham games previously. It's been a horrible experience, mate, and I would never wish it on anyone again. So, it's just been awful, and it will continue to be awful until it gets decided one way or the other. If it goes down to the last day, if it's on the last day where Tottenham could stay up and Arsenal could lose the league, it'll be. I don't know. I don't want to experience it. I would rather just turn the TV off, not go to the game, and go in a dark room for 2 hours, and then check the phone and see what happened at the end. So I can't imagine going into that last day where everything's still in play.
No, yeah. I wish I could. I'll be on here doing the watching on with a bottle of vodka in one side, a bottle of whiskey in the other, and just mixing the 2. By the time of the end, I'll be pissed drunk, like, whoever cares. Has it been fully
Question
Tony?
Question I'll ask you two, actually.
Yeah.
Considering we've experienced it 4 or 5 times now, relegation,
That's nice of you.
we are basically kind of more set up. Are Spurs set up for
That's fair enough.
relegation?
Go on, you
I
go
don't
first,
think
Billy.
so.
Oh, you've muted Billy as well now.
I haven't
I
muted
don't.
Billy.
I don't think we are. No, to answer your question, I don't think we are suited to it. I don't think. I think the players. It's taken a long time to be able to get the mentality right, De Zerbi, but it still could go either way. I think if it come down to the final day of the season, I'm not sure our fans and players would know how to react. So no, I don't. I'm not sure we are perfectly set up for this at the moment.
I'd have to agree with Billy. I think Billy said everything I would have said anyway, Tony. I just think it's the players, isn't it? I think De Zerbi's set up for relegation as a manager because he keeps pumping you with confidence that doesn't care where you are. It's about the end of the season. But look, it's all about going in at results, isn't it, Tony? You know it as well as I do. It's about getting results. It's about winning the games in front of you and taking it one game at a time. Tomorrow now it's a massive 24 hours in North London. It really will be a massive 24 hours. Then you've got Newcastle next week. We don't play till next Tuesday. So again, as Billy says, we've got to wait again to play Chelsea. And it's not just it's a 48 after you've played Newcastle. And by that time, I mean, you could lose tomorrow and lose on again next Sunday. It doesn't matter what we do, Chelsea and Everton were safe. Or it could be you could win tomorrow, and if you beat Newcastle, we could be 4 points behind with needing to get something out the next 2 games. So, look, I think this is going to the last game of the season. Sorry, Billy.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So you better get ready for your darkened room. I think it's going, and I think we will stay up by a point. I've been saying that for months. But with De Zerbi, anything is possible. But it's our home form that's worrying me. Only 2 wins at home all season. That's worrying me. And knowing you lot will be up for this tomorrow. Are you going to the game tomorrow, Tony?
No, I'll be working. I'm working, mate.
So do you think it'd be pumping there at the stadium? Do you think it'd be a massive atmosphere?
I think it will be, yeah. There's be no 2 ways about it. The one thing Mavropanos, even Suchik have said that, we want the 12th man behind us, and that's the fans. And they need to be behind them. The London Stadium's got a roar, basically, just to kind of give a bit more pressure to Arsenal. They're not going to have a given right to kind of get anything out of the game. They're going to, the full well they're going to try their hardest, but for us, it's making sure that we do our job. Interestingly, when you look at the so-called Opta computer, from being in a relatively 38% of not going down to your 59%, from the Brentford game, Opta's kind of looked at it again and suddenly gone with now 88% chance of going down. So that in service, for me, I would use that as kind of like, look what they're saying to you. Let's use that as an incentive to kind of do better, get something out of the game, and put the onus back on you guys, because that's what it's going to be at the end of the day. I think we've all said it. Billy just said it as well. I've said it to you as well. We play first, you play after. Pressure's on us first. We get something out of the game. Pressure's thrown back onto you guys. Even if we manage to get a point or we lose tomorrow, the pressure's still on you guys because you still got to get the result.
Yeah.
And if you don't get that, then it goes into the next game. Who knows? I mean, obviously, interestingly, when you think about it, a couple of months back, a lot of people were saying it was Chelsea that was going to be the club that's going to send you down.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
You're most welcome.
You're very good. I knew I got you on here for a reason, Tony. I knew there was a reason why I keep asking you to come back on. I knew there was a reason why you're full of optimism. Honestly, I swear to God, when you think he's nice to you, he just dags you in with a little dagger. There at the end, just a little dig. I'll get me on back on you, sir. Don't you worry. Revenge is very sweet indeed. But listen, that is it. That's the end of the show. I really enjoyed it. We talked a lot actually, and I think it's a very civil conversation. And we've proved West Ham and Spurs fans can talk and get on. Only for 90 minutes. After this, go backstage. Tony will be abusing me. He'd be abusing me and Billy, and we'll be doing the same to Tony. So, all shame and love and war.
Exactly.
Do join us tomorrow at 8:00, me and Billy, for the pre-match build-up for Leeds on Monday. And of course, Monday we've got predicted. There's 2 shows tomorrow. 8 there is me and Billy doing the pre-match build-up. I'm doing the predicted lineup solo at 10. So do join us for that. Then at 6:30 on Monday evening. No, 7:30. I might be going at 7 earlier. Do join me as we get a couple of Leeds fans to join us before the game. We're going to do the watch along, and then the girls will be joining me for halftime, whatever, full time, and then after the whistle. Billy, you're going to the match, aren't you, bud? Yeah, you are.
Sure, mate. Yeah, sure, mate.
Yeah. So give us a bit of I'll send you the link, so maybe pop on when you're at the stadium halftime and give us your thoughts on the game. But guys, we are going to leave it there. But do join us tomorrow. Do get over to Tony's channel as well. Tony, do you want to put your link in, bud, to the chat so people know?
I can't remember how to do it myself. Get someone one of your mods or something to do it. I can't remember how to do it.
Well, maybe Daz or somebody in the chat can put the link in for
he put
Tony.
it in earlier, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Big up to you. So big up to everyone. Thank you for watching. Hit the like and subscribe. We're back tomorrow at 8:00 with pre-match build-up. With everything do. Come on, you Spurs. Sorry, West Ham.
Come on, you guys.
Bye-bye.